What's up, guys, and welcome back to Earth Zero. I'm your host, Black Nick, and if you are questioning my nickname, yes, I am black, and my name is Nicholas. So, henceforth, the Black Nick. We are not racist. Black is a color, white is a color, whatever the skin color of your skin is, it's a color, it's not racism. But anyway, welcome to my page. If you're new to the channel, please hit that like and subscribe button. We are open to every and any opinion here. We don't hate, critic, or whatever, but we do say our opinions freely. If someone disagrees with you, please just understand that that's how they feel. That at the end of the day, you don't have to be right, and they don't have to agree with you, and you don't have to agree with them. But if you can understand that, oh, this guy really likes it, let him like it. If this guy really hates him, let him hate it. But anyway, we're here to talk about the Flash review, and honestly, guys, in my opinion, I feel like this movie got unnecessary hate. Yes, everyone hates Ezra Miller, and yes, they've proven their point or whatever. But putting that all aside, in terms of just the movie, the only thing from the movie that really bothered me and that I would agree was a good reason for me to not go see it was the CGI. Oh, the CGI looked like PlayStation, dude. Like, it looked like we are playing a game, especially the first scene when Flash runs. Like, the PlayStation kind of running on water vibes. It looked bad. I was like, I've seen RTX that has RTX games that look 10 times better than this actual scene, dude. So that's the downfall of the movie, and seeing that in cinema must have been like exhausting. But in terms of the movie as a whole, it's not as terrible as people are saying. Some people are like, oh, the plot had this and the what. In terms of the time travel, I think they handled it much better than even Avengers Endgame. Avengers Endgame added 5 different types of time traveling. One of them hasn't even been solved until like 10 movies later. They still haven't even told us how Captain America does all of his stuff. But I'm sure they will eventually. But it still just feels like they pulled like stuff out of the air for the time travel in Avengers. But because that movie really impacted everyone just puts that aside. But in the Flash, it was like straightforward kind of stuff. Yes, plot holes here and there, and explanations, plot holes here and there, but they still followed that kind of storyline from the Paradox, where he kind of loses his powers and needs to get electrocuted again, but used it with actors and people we know. And I really like that, because that really hypes up the DC fans that have been here since Michael Keaton days. And I personally like this film specifically because of Michael Keaton. Michael Keaton delivered. He still has that Michael Keaton Bruce Wayne vibe. The reason why I'm putting Michael Keaton at the beginning is because every Batman has their own kind of way of acting as Bruce Wayne and Batman, but he's still the Michael Keaton Batman. He took that role instantly. There are no accurate Batman parts. Yes, no one's ever nailed Batman perfectly, but it's still up for interpretation, and you can still have different versions. It's like writing another comic book from another world. That's what movies are. It's like just reading another version of the comics. And people are like, no, it has to be comic accurate. It has to. If you want anything to be comic accurate, just read the comic. That's the most accurate you'll ever get it. Marvel doesn't even follow comic accuracy, but everyone falls and bows to their feet. And all of a sudden, everyone's just pointing at DC. And I can agree 100%. Marvel has dominated and has destroyed DC in movies, and I love Marvel to the core. But I also am biased because my favorite like superhero is from DC, which is Batman. And I've always liked the Justice League way before I even knew the Avengers. The Avengers and all these characters that I've seen growing and people liking have been from just the movies, because the actors have done so well with it. But in terms of like comics and everything, before Justice League, hardly anyone knew about the Avengers or anything. No one would come to me and be like, yo, the Avengers are so cool. No, everyone would just be like, oh, the Justice League. Me and my best friend would just be like, oh, the animated Justice League series. That's all we would talk about, And then Iron Man came and eventually when I heard the name Avengers, that's only when everyone was like, oh, the Avengers and what. There were comic books out there. I read some of them and what, but they weren't impactful to me. The comics, like compared to the Batman comics and all of that. And Batman has just been like the top priority for me liking DC as a whole. So when he's involved in projects and stuff, I always find it cool, and like they really delivered with Michael Keaton in this movie, and hence why I just thought it was like a cool movie, a cool action movie. I've seen worse Marvel movies than this, like Thor: Love and Thunder. So I honestly just like, besides the Ezra Miller stuff and everything, like I can say that people that hated Ezra Miller, people that don't, the Snyder fans especially, yeah, they definitely were part of this whole thing not going well for the movie. And then it's just the fans split up on just everything. So it's the Zack Snyder fans, it's the Ezra Miller hate, and it's also just the fact that James Gunn announced that the universe is like done after this. Like there's just basically no point of watching that movie. It took so long for the movie to come out. Then you get word of mouth from everyone that the CGI actually looks bad, and it's just like there's no point of going to see it. Like, and DC made it sound like this movie was going to be life changing and up there, and it wasn't, unfortunately. So I really am sad about all of that, but it's fine. Not all the movies that I know that are good have done well in the box office. There's movies, if you go search, such as like Fight Club, for example. That movie in its day flopped dismally in the box office, but you can't tell me that Fight Club isn't one of Brad Pitt's best movies. That movie's amazing and people love it. And if you know Brad Pitt and a fan, you know that's one of his top movies, dude. But it did badly in the box office in its day. Does that mean it's a bad movie? No. So that's what I'm just saying for The Flash, like I just don't see what everyone was like hitting on it about. It's actually just a chilled, normal, average movie. It's not the best superhero movie of all time like they always do it. But when DC and any movie that's superhero these days, anything that falls under the superhero genre, any of them say in their adverts that the movie is the best movie of all time, mind blowing, this, put your expectations lower and lower every time that happens, because I also feel like people went in with high expectations and then they came out and they were like, nah, this is pretty average. But yeah, and then about the cameos, I thought the cameos were okay. People are complaining like, oh no, these people are dead, and like, oh, now they look like, you can't have Christopher and as Superman and all that stuff when he's dead and all that stuff. And also it's old news for Nicolas Cage being Superman, and he also looks fake and CGI'd and everything. And I was just like, first of all, the dead people, you know, it's cool that they still tried in some way of putting them in and put in some effort. And I think in terms of Nicolas Cage not looking that well and CGI'd into the thing, kind of just try to compensate for the other people that were CGI'd in it, because if he looked all real and realistic, and then the rest that was CGI'd that you can't really bring back to life, has the CGI, would just be unbalanced. So I'd understood that, and I liked those kind of cameos and stuff. But yeah, in general, the movie was just chill to me. I just don't see what the problem is or what people hate about the movie. There's more hateful other movies out there, whether it's DC like Green Lantern or whether it's Marvel like Thor: Love and Thunder. Like there's just worse things out there, and the Marvel fans will do their utter best to protect that movie. But unfortunately, with DC, our fans are way too split to protect anything, so it's unfortunate. But honestly, at the end of the day, I would give this movie a 7 out of 10 for me, like just a pass. I thought it was pretty cool. Not my favorite thing, not anywhere near 9s or 10s, like I mostly give Marvel movies nines and tens, and also Batman solo movies. Those get nines and tens, you know. But yeah, unfortunately, this one just, yeah, there were faulties in it and problems and stuff. But it was still an entertaining movie. So just let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. This is just my opinion. I just feel like that everything has just been stretched out of proportion of how bad this movie is. Like out of proportion. Like it's just hugely like misrepresented out there because of certain people and Twitter and stuff. But once you watch it, you'll just realize like this isn't as awful as some DC movies that have released in the past few years, and they didn't get this kind of hate. And I just think it's just Ezra Miller ruining his reputation. That's all. That's literally the main pinpoint of why this movie got all of this. But we will never know. But anyway, please comment in the section below. Please hit that subscribe button if you're new, and if you like the video, please click that like button. And thank you so much for watching.